While everyone remains distracted, an energy portal has silently opened. It does not wait for the solar eclipse, happening tomorrow. Even now, its energy is already pouring into reality, creating unpredictable ripples. This is not just an ordinary astronomical event, it is a double rupture tearing through layers of existence, thinning the veil between the material world and the spiritual dimensions to an unprecedented degree. This rare phenomenon carries an energy so intense that by the time the sky is swallowed by darkness tomorrow, it may already be too late to halt the transformations taking place. Many who are sensitive to energy have already sensed the disturbance. The air feels thick with static. An eerie tension creeps into every corner, or there's a haunting sensation of being watched from behind. These are not mere coincidences, but cosmic warnings. Something is trying to cross through the portal. The overlapping forces of the solar eclipse and the super-new moon do more than amplify energy. They create waves that distort everything. The most alarming aspect, however, lies beneath the surface of this event. An overwhelming force beyond anything humanity has ever understood about eclipses. At this moment, the universe is listening to humanity more profoundly than ever. Every thought, emotion, and intention you project is magnified and will imprint itself upon the next 6 months of your life. This is not just an opportunity to reset your existence. It is a rare moment when energy is strong enough to bend the very laws of reality. However, not everyone is ready to face the brutal truth this portal brings. It shreds illusions, forcing you to confront the hidden corners of your soul, the comforting lies, the postponed decisions, the buried emotions. If you keep running, they will grow in the shadows and consume you. This is the moment of choice. Face it and be free, or be destroyed. When the super-new moon, an extraordinarily powerful new moon, and the solar eclipse combine, they create an unprecedented energy earthquake. Unlike a regular new moon, which is typically seen as a moment for the universe to reset and set new intentions, the super-new moon amplifies this power tenfold, turning every human thought, emotion, and desire into prayers that resonate across space and time. This not only shapes the next 6 months, but also warps physical laws, making the boundary between reality and illusion increasingly fragile. However, this combination also opens a double energy gateway, not merely a portal, but a vortex that pulls everything into a controlled state of chaos. This energy gateway acts like a mirror reflecting the inner mind, tearing away the veil that conceals what we avoid, toxic relationships, draining jobs, or aspects of our character buried by fear. It forces you to confront the question, how have you deceived yourself? Those who feel their minds in turmoil, constantly haunted by memories or an intangible sense of guilt, are experiencing the cleansing effect of this gateway. If you continue to deny it, the pressure will build like a volcano ready to erupt. The more you suppress, the more violently it will explode. At the same time, the energy gateway distorts time. Days shorten, weeks flash by in an instant, and no matter how hard you try, you feel out of sync. This isn't due to poor time management, but because the universe is restructuring the timeline around you. The overlap of the two celestial events, the solar eclipse and the super-new moon, compresses space-time, creating the sensation of living at a breaking point of reality. Resisting only exhausts you, as this is a cosmic warning. Stop, listen, and adapt. Unexplained fatigue, insomnia, or the sensation of being out of body while sleeping are signs that your body and soul are being reprogrammed. Recurring vivid dreams, uncanny déjà vu, or the feeling of being watched in the middle of the night. All these are encoded messages from the energy gateway. They remind you, you cannot run away forever. Change has begun, and you have only two choices: step into the light of truth, or be submerged in the darkness of self-deception. The double energy gateway not only opens up a new dimension, it also functions like a cosmic transmitter, projecting your energy into spiritual realms never before reached. This is why many people feel watched, even when no one is around, or are constantly startled by a fleeting shadow in their peripheral vision. You're not imagining things. You are becoming tangible in the eyes of non-physical entities, past life souls, spiritual guides, or even distant energy-sensitive beings. They notice you not out of malice, but because the super new moon has broken the internal code within you, causing your personal frequency to shine like a lighthouse, piercing the cosmic fog. However, not everyone experiences the feeling of being observed. Some, on the contrary, suddenly feel like they've vanished from the social radar. Messages go unanswered, you step into a room unnoticed, or job opportunities suddenly freeze. This is not a sign of failure, but the universe's invisibility mechanism. As your old self dissolves to make way for a new you, the universe temporarily hides you from external eyes. A sacred chrysalis protecting the most fragile phase of transformation. Much like a caterpillar enveloped in darkness before becoming a butterfly, you need isolation for a complete rebirth. Surreal dreams, out-of-body experiences, or prolonged déjà vu are the side effects of this process. They show that your consciousness is journeying through layers of reality, gathering messages from the energy gateway. In particular, that inexplicable, rapid heartbeat in the middle of the night is a sign that your soul is downloading a new spiritual genetic code, lessons from past lives, or an unfulfilled mission. However, the strongest effect lies in the delay mechanism of the solar eclipse. Unlike other astronomical events, this surge of energy does not explode immediately, but simmers like a slow-burning fuse. Some people wake up after the eclipse with sudden life-changing decisions, while others feel as if everything has strangely frozen. Don't rush to think you've been left behind. This is the moment when the universe is rebalancing your karma, preparing for an unimaginable leap. When the time ripens, you will awaken with a question, a dream, or a chilling coincidence, and every piece of your life will instantly fall into place. This solar eclipse is not merely an astronomical event. It carries with it an unpredictable cosmic timer. Contrary to the common belief that energy will burst forth at the peak of the eclipse, this event acts like a slow fuse. Some people wake up the next day with an inexplicable restlessness, compelled to change something in their lives. Others fall into a state of freeze, devoid of signals and emotions, as if the universe is pausing to recalibrate the threads of their karma. Do not mistake this silence for failure. It is like an arrow drawn on a bow, waiting for the perfect moment to fly. The greatest mystery lies in the delayed effect of the energy gateway. Weekly, even monthly after the eclipse, many suddenly experience strange dreams. Not mere dreams, but multidimensional dialogues with a parallel version of themselves. They witness scenes that never existed, hear languages not of Earth, or encounter eerily familiar faces. This is how the energy gateway communicates through false memories, awakening the potential locked deep within your spiritual DNA. Especially those prolonged moments of déjà vu, the sensation of having lived the current situation before, are no longer illusions. They are traces of overlapping time, when layers of reality collide through an incompletely closed gateway. You might suddenly recall details of a past life that were never documented or realize that you belong to a lost civilization. However, the biggest challenge lies in the temptation of haste. When immediate change is not apparent, many try to speed up the process by overindulging in meditation or diving into complex spiritual rituals. This only causes the energy to leak. The universe's advice at this moment is clear. Let nature take its course. Transformation is occurring in every cell, every dream, every seemingly insignificant moment. When the time is ripe, you will realize that everything, from waking at 3 a.m. to feeling disoriented, is the coded message guiding you to a higher version of yourself. Remember, this eclipse does not end when the sun shines again. It will quietly shape you through sleepless nights, mysterious dreams, until the day you awaken to find that you have stepped into a new cycle of destiny. After the energy gateway closes, the process of spiritual restructuring truly begins. This is not an end, but a phase of integrating the new energy into daily life, a subtle process that is easily overlooked. Many people mistakenly believe that once the solar eclipse is over, everything will return to normal. But in reality, normal has now been redefined. The light cells activated during the open gateway phase will continue to disintegrate and regenerate, gradually replacing your old energy system. This explains the feeling of being a stranger in your own body, as if your limbs, thoughts, and reactions belong to an incomplete, upgraded version. During this phase, the universe will continuously send guiding signals through astonishing coincidences. A book falling off the shelf exactly on the page you need to read, a stranger uttering the exact phrase you were thinking, or suddenly recalling a childhood memory you thought was forgotten. All are deliberate indications. They urge you to practice active letting go, not clinging to the past, not forcing the future, but focusing on the present like a magnet attracting the right energy. In particular, the thirst for change will arise strongly. You might feel torn from your current job, want to break free from superficial relationships, or yearn to explore new territories. This is not a fleeting impulsiveness, but a call from your activated spiritual DNA. However, the universe also warns against the halo trap. Diving into abrupt changes without listening to your inner self will lead you astray. Rather than hastily abandoning everything, view this as a time for a dialogue with your soul. Ask what it wants, what it fears, and what it is willing to sacrifice to achieve true freedom. Those who ignore this phase will fall into a cycle of karmic retribution, a brief moment of happiness after change, followed by emptiness, or repeating old mistakes under a new guise. To avoid this, pay attention to the warning dreams. They often appear as seemingly meaningless images, a trapped bird, a rusty key, but contain profound metaphors about your inner journey. Finally, remember that the double solar eclipse has planted the seed of change within you, but only you decide whether that seed will blossom or wither. Every choice from here, from your diet, your speech, to your meditation habits, serves as either fertilizer or poison for the transformation process. The universe does not force you to awaken, but it will continuously ring the warning bell until you bravely open your eyes. When the eclipse's veil of darkness lifts, the journey of permanent awakening truly begins. This is not a time for complacency or retreating into old comfort zones, but a phase of repositioning yourself within the universe's newly recalibrated energy map. Those who underwent the invisibility phase will gradually reappear, yet they will no longer be their former selves. They radiate a higher vibrational frequency that may leave those around them surprised, even skeptical. Why do they seem so different? This is the effect of the spiritual quantum leap, where the energy accumulated from the dual gateway erupts into decisive action. You may suddenly abandon a stable career to pursue a hidden passion or sever ties with relationships that have lasted for decades, not out of impulsiveness, but because inner truth has ripened. At this stage, the universe will continuously test your commitment through pressure exams, unexpected challenges, sudden conflicts, or even minor accidents. These are not punishments, but trials designed to refine your willpower and ensure you don't slip back into old patterns. Particularly, the phenomenon of reverse synchronicity may emerge. People or situations that once caused you pain resurface, but this time you view them through the lens of compassion instead of fear. This is a sign that karma is being transmuted into wisdom. However, the greatest challenge lies in maintaining your frequency. The gateway has closed, but its shockwaves still ripple through reality, leaving many in a half-awake, half-dreaming state, overly sensitive to noise, light, or the negative energy of others. To avoid energetic overload, you must learn to establish spiritual boundaries, spend time in silence daily, use crystals or plants to absorb excess energy, and most importantly, say no to anything that does not serve your soul's evolution. Dreams during this period will take on a prophetic quality. You may dream of places you've never been, only to find yourself there weeks later in real life, or encounter a stranger in a dream who later turns out to be a crucial connection. This is how the universe teaches you the symbolic language of destiny. Record these dreams carefully, as they are treasure maps guiding your path. Finally, if you are reading these words, it means the energy gateway has chosen you as a bearer of light. Every share, every comment about your experiences, or even something as simple as subscribing to a channel, is a way of knocking on the universe's door. I am ready. Remember, this journey has no final destination, only resting points to recharge before soaring once again. You don't need to be perfect. You only need the courage to walk in the light of truth.